What are your thoughts on his performance tonight?
Sorry, I didn't.
Ryan Garner put an electric performance tonight. What are your thoughts on that?
Come of age tonight. I think both of the young fighters. I think Dennis came of age, fighting an older guy, an experienced guy, and I thought Ryan, who I've been a big believer in from day one, who's had his ups and downs, some self-inflicted. Tonight he showed what he's all about, and all that can happen with him now, he goes from strength to strength. As long as he behaves himself, he can go on to do some really great things in boxing. He's a quality fighter, and that was an excellent performance against a really decent opponent for him.
Frank, what's the plan now? Obviously, Liam Davis was sat here ringside. I'm sure he was. I spoke to him and said, "Listen, you're gonna have to fight again. I'm going to do my own thing for now, and then let's see what happens." But is that the plan? Let these two fight again, get Liam out maybe at the end of the year, and then see what happens in 2024.
He'll be out by the end of the year. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about it. Yeah, and 2024 should be a big year for him.
Frank, just moving away from the show, it's the big one for you next week. Nervous? Are you looking forward to it? It's a big option for Daniel.
I'm not nervous because I'm not fighting, but I'm looking forward to it. I spoke with Daniel this evening, and I also see him in the week. He is in a real good place at the moment, both physically and mentally. And for me, I think he has the tools to win this fight against an exceptional fighter. He's young enough. It's going to be similar, I think, in some ways to how this fight panned out tonight with Dennis, in as much that he's a very experienced guy against a younger fighter. He's obviously going to try and old man him. But I think that he's got hand speed, he's got power in both hands, he's got good footwork, and I genuinely think that he can pull it off. It's all going to be down to his temperament, and at the moment, he's in a brilliant place.
Right, I think we're 6 years we're talking about Hong Kong and White, and this week we saw Alicia Baumgardner also fail or have an adverse finding in her soul. Is it more concerning that for us people outside looking in, there's no clear process on how these things are rectified?
It's disgraceful for people outside and inside. And we're not. And what I'm getting sick of is all the nonsense that's being spouted out about who's doing what. That drugs-free sport, which tests, as we know in America, tests various other athletes in different sports, which is not a dangerous sport such as boxing. And their lab reports go back to the organisations. The lab reports that for her went back to Matchroom. And Matchroom obviously disclosed it. She's obviously had quite a few tests under that regime. What concerns me about it is, first of all, is that drugs-free sport do not have the same standard and do not test for substances that VADA test for and UCAD test for, like EPO. They don't test for human growth hormone, which is not acceptable. It's no good that somebody takes a sample and puts it on a shelf for 9 days before submitting it to a laboratory, because all you're doing there is giving a lawyer an opportunity to take that whole process apart. If she was to have a hearing, and I'm sure something's going to be worked out, at that hearing, if she's found to be that she did do something, she should be banned. But they've left a lot of loopholes for her to get out of. What I found concerning was apparently she allegedly was going to leave Matchroom and go and sign with Jake Paul. So you can look into that which way you want.
Frank, we've also seen that UCAD and the British Boxing Board of Control have launched a formal appeal.
Correct.
Did you expect that to happen?
Yes. If they didn't do it, then they would not be worth having. There's been no hearing. All this nonsense about he's been exonerated. Where are the journalists? What is going on in this world? Where is anybody printing the truth? There was no hearing regarding him testing positive. The hearing was all about jurisdictions. How does that help the sport? Finding loopholes to not have a hearing. So the Border Control and UCAD have no option than to call for a hearing and appeal the decision. And anybody who has any concern about the sport will support that. And more importantly, Conor Ben, if he's not guilty, then have the hearing with UCAD. Why wouldn't you do that? And get this sorry episode out of the way. It's been dragging on for a year or so now. You know, we keep having these things. This whole drug situation needs to be sorted out. And by the way, Matchroom are not the only people who test fighters. We do the same thing. We use VADA because that's what the Americans, if it's American fighters and mostly worldwide, recognise, or UK. That's who we use. And if they continue drugs-free to not be testing for banned substances that are banned by VADA or UK, then it's not fit for purpose, those tests. And they shouldn't be samples sitting on a shelf for 9 days. That's bullshit.
Frank, of course, Anthony Joshua's returned to the ring. 7th round knockout of Lanius. What was your thoughts on the performance?
On what?
Anthony Joshua knocking out
He
Lanius.
done what he had to do, knocking the fella out. Up until that, it was a ball fest. It's a snooze fest, I should say. Wasn't it? Excitement was tonight. What an exciting show, eh, all these guys? Every fight was more exciting than every fight they had last week. This is exciting. These young kids, you're seeing stars of the future. I don't want to be and I've got to tell you, all you haters out here, I'm responding to questions you're asking. I'm not bringing it up. They're questions that you're asking me. I don't even want to talk about that fight. But as you asked me, it was a snore.
All right, thanks, guys.
Go on then, one more.
Yeah, so obviously Raven Chapman, she came through a really good test this evening. There's talk of an interim world title coming up next, is that true?
We are working on something, and I hope we will do. She's, you know, I've got to tell you, I've only ever been involved really with one girl in the past as a woman fighter, which was Nicola, who we guided to a world title. But Raven, I think she's so exciting. It's a bloody exciting fight that was. It was great stuff.
Thank you, Frank.
Great show.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.